Side bending rotation is one of the most common and overlooked asymmetry patterns, but it can really affect everything, obviously your face shape, posture, bite, even your gaze. So if you feel like one side of your face is set back wider, like one shoulder is more forward, one cheek is flat, this might be your pattern. So in this video I'll break it all down, like what side bending rotation is, how it shows up in your bones, muscle and movement, and most importantly obviously how to resolve it with practical steps. So whether you just identified your asymmetry or you've been trying to correct it for some time, this guide is going to walk you through all the layers of resolving this specific facial asymmetry pattern that most people actually miss. Okay, so let's dive in. So first of all, side bending rotation is a cranial asymmetry pattern where the sphenoid and occipital bone rotate in opposite directions around two vertical axes, which then results in one side of the cranium and the face coming slightly forward while the other side moves back. Now this same pattern happens in body as well, so it's a full body pattern. So person with side bending rotation, they will have one eye and ear on the same side lower, one side of the face in front profile will be wider, one cheekbone will be more prominent, and maxilla will be externally rotated on one side. Also sphenoid and occipital bone will be closer together on one side, and temporal bone will be externally rotated. Atlas is also misaligned, so one shoulder will be higher, another shoulder will be lower and internally rotated. One internal oblique will be overactive, so one side of the ribcage and hip will be closer together. The opposite side will be further apart, and that's the side with externally rotated ribcage and weak internal oblique. So in very severe cases of side bending rotation, you also might experience dominant one side of the entire body. That side will struggle to relax and it can cause a body pain. So the entire body is twisted and musculature is what's now holding bones in that pattern. And also because side bending rotation involves the cranial base, more specifically sphenoid and occiput, this pattern can't be corrected by local work alone. Okay, so you have to influence the entire craniosacral rhythm, and now we will go through all those techniques. Okay, so to truly resolve this, we need to understand all the players involved. So we will start with the maxilla. Okay, so to correct a canted or rotated maxilla, we need to center the setback side, we need to de-rotate any internal external twist, and we need to also even out both sides of your smile, so the position of the maxilla is not crooked in any way. So to center the maxilla, we firstly want to pull the setback side forward. So anchor down on the side that's forward, you hold firmly and you do unilateral forward thumb pulling on the side of the face that's set back, okay, starting from the middle of the palate. And another good technique is just anchoring down above premolars and pulling the setback side forward and the other side back simultaneously. Now you can start working on centering the maxilla laterally, so just anchor down on the side of the maxilla that's externally rotated and do unilateral thumb pulling on the internally rotated side. So just expanding that side and bringing it out of the internal rotation. And each time that you pull the maxilla laterally, you just hold for at least 10 seconds. Okay, now after that you're ready to work on the hardest part of the maxillary asymmetry, which is fixing the tilted maxilla. So one side of the maxilla is higher, the other side lower. So to fix that, you just anchor down above molars or premolars and pull the higher side down and lower side up. And also this needs to be done gently, you know, just to relax the maxilla and gently guide it in that more symmetrical position. Centering the maxilla is critical because it literally acts like the platform, right? If it's tilted or pulled back, then the rest of your face and skull will have to compensate around that imbalance, and that's basically how the entire asymmetry pattern is created. So now that we center the maxilla and we sent those centering impulses that maxilla is going to follow, now we can move on to centering the sphenoid and occipital bone, which represent the cranial base. Okay, so to unwind those bones, we focus on guiding the sphenoid and occiput in more centered or neutral position. Now, first of all, you need to identify which side of the sphenoid and occiput is depressed and which side is elevated. So you can basically identify that by placing thumbs on your temples where the greater wing of the sphenoid are, and place index fingers on the greater wing of the occiput. Okay, so one side will be lower basically. Now you pull the elevated side down and the depressed side up, and you just hold like that for 30 seconds to 1 minute. Just make sure that you don't apply a lot of pressure on the temple area, okay? And now when it comes to sphenoid and occiput, they are not only tilted to a side, but they are also closer together on one side, okay? So we need to center them further. Firstly, you're going to determine on which side sphenoid and occiput are closer together, and best indicator for that is the side of the face is that side of the face will be more set back and ear will be more forward, okay? So it's literally compressed, or it has compressed tight profile. So basically sphenoid and occiput are positioned closer, and you just separate them by placing one finger on the sphenoid, another finger on the greater wing of the occipital bone, and just pull them apart, while at the same time you pull them closer together on the opposite side. Okay, so it's necessary to work on both aspects simultaneously. Just pull them apart on one side and bring them closer together on the opposite side. And again, you just hold the pressure like that, like in those directions, for about 30 seconds. Just make sure that you are not overdoing this technique, okay? Start gently, because these are powerful techniques, so just listen to your body. And in case you have a headache, for example, you should just spend less time doing it, okay? Or just do it a couple of times a week. Okay, so by now we addressed maxilla, we addressed sphenoid and occipital bone, but there are two more bones very important for the skull symmetry, and those are temporal bones. So in side bending rotation, one entire side of the face will be externally rotated, which then originates from the temporal bone. So external rotation of the temporal bone caused maxilla and a zygomatic bone on that side to project laterally as well, okay? So the entire side of the head will appear wider on that side. Ear will often be flared on the externally rotated side and flat on the internally rotated side. Now, I haven't seen many people just talking about centering temporal bones. Actually, I haven't seen anyone, but I found an effective way to do it, okay? So if this is, let's say, externally rotated side or temporal bone, you just place this part of your palm, or you can just use your fingers, and you just press the externally rotated temporal bone inwards, and you just hold it like that, okay? And at the same time you locate the mastoid process on the temporal bone just behind your ear, and you just try to get hold of it, okay? And just pull it outward. And in cases of severe internal rotation, it may be harder to locate the mastoid process, but just try, okay? Just try the best that you can. And you just hold it like that for 30 seconds to 1 minute. You can also lean on a wall while you're doing this, or just lay down, pressing the externally rotated temporal bone in, so that your body weight will pretty much just do the work for you, okay? So by now we addressed all the skull bones that play a crucial role in facial symmetry. However, unless you address the foundation of the cranial base, basically none of those techniques are going to be fully effective. So cranial base is basically the first vertebra, called atlas, and the entire cervical spine is responsible for everything that's been happening in the skull, okay? So it's necessary to center the first vertebra and just decompress and even out the entire cervical spine. As always, the best way to straighten something is to just stretch it and decompress it, right? So that means that there is tension that we now need to release, basically. And what I recommend is deep massage of the entire neck, including obviously sternocleidomastoid muscle, but also those deep neck muscles, okay? And deep massage really means stretching it, just taking your time with it, okay? And I recommend you spend at least 15 minutes a day working on it, even though I know it's a lot, okay? But that's the best thing that you can do for your facial structure and symmetry, okay? But also structure, since just tension in this area pulls the entire structure downwards, okay? So this is incredibly important to do daily. And other than the massage, because that was pretty obvious, you can also work on decompressing this area on a bone level. And this is one of my favorite techniques because it provides great results, very fast results for both symmetry and development. So the technique is neck traction, and what it essentially does, it stretches the entire neck, and it very effectively decompresses this area also, by the way, it feels amazing, and I just love doing this technique. So neck traction is performed by placing thumbs under the mandible. Okay, so approximately here, and your index fingers under the base of the skull or just occiput, and you just hold firmly and pull up. And then you will feel the weight coming off of your shoulders, okay, which will feel very relaxing, especially if your point of balance in your body is disrupted and you've been carrying the weight on wrong muscle group. So yeah, it should feel good, okay. And I recommend neck traction for 15 to 20 minutes a day. But even if you do it just for a couple of minutes, it's still better than skipping it entirely, okay? Trust me. This is absolutely necessary step for this routine. Something that works well with neck traction is the fetal stretch, in which you just bring the head down and you gently push it further down with your hand, so your entire spine stretches. And then you just breathe in that position and you try to feel the torso expand, okay? You use your side abs, you contract them and take deep breaths in, and then you exhale fully. But make sure that you truly are doing full inhalation and exhalation, okay? So there's no air left in your lungs before next inhalation. That's extremely important. This is, by the way, a very detailed routine, right, and kind of a complex routine. So if you're planning on doing it every single day and you want to have a summary of the routine, just something that you can quickly look at and remember each technique every day, I prepared a PDF version of this video, or basically PDF document with all the techniques from this video, and it will be available on my website, so you can just use that as a daily reminder. But you need to be consistent with this, and you need to do it every single day, okay? Side bending rotation is one of the easiest strengths to resolve, but it still requires consistency. And also, in case you recognize some elements of the side bending rotation on yourself, but you also have some differences, like unique compensations, and you feel like you don't fit this pattern entirely, you can book private consultations with me, or you can just join my community, because there I guide you daily, okay? And you also get access to a bunch of courses on symmetry, development, posture, and much more. We go way deeper there, okay? But that's only for those of you who are really serious about getting a change, and those of you who are planning on actively fixing your structure, okay? But either way, you truly need to commit to this journey. Whether you're following this routine or any other routine, it will give you results only if you're actually doing it, okay? If you're taking action and actually doing something in order to improve your structure and health. I know that we've been all literally bombarded by claims that improving face naturally is impossible, right? That's what I heard many times, and that's simply not true, okay? I'm a living testimony of that, and many people in my community, many people that I work with basically are experiencing daily breakthroughs, daily results. So that's why I know that I was not an anomaly for whom it works, right? It works for absolutely everyone who actually does it. So not only because of my experience, but because of the experience of many people, I know that it's possible to improve week by week. Just constantly witness your face getting better and better. So just please stick with the routine, okay? Put in the work, have faith. You are not an anomaly for which this one doesn't work, okay? If it works for absolutely everyone who applies it effectively. But you need to be focused and determined, okay? You need to also be motivated, so stay in this community, watch a lot of before and afters, okay? Just stay around people who are on the same journey. I will also be sharing more transformations. Some of you who reach out to me to report your progress are shy. You don't want me to post things publicly, but people are getting results, okay? So just don't stay behind. Do this actively. No matter what your age is, it will work, okay? Now you have everything necessary. You can download the summary of the routine as well, so it's easier to do it daily. But the rest is on you, okay? No one can take the action and do this instead of you. You just have to take control of this, okay? You have to do techniques, and techniques that you're applying will be the best thing that you're, most likely best thing that you're currently doing for your future, okay? So yeah, this has a great potential to just improve the overall quality of your life, absolutely every aspect of your life, okay? So please take it seriously. Watch this video every single day, or just follow along, or just use that document. Do whatever is needed to improve your structure, because it is so tightly related to your health. It's actually crazy. And not only that, but also your social life and job opportunities, life opportunities in general. Like, this has crazy potential to just improve your life, okay? And it will not take more than, I don't know, like maybe 20 minutes a day or 30 minutes a day. Even if it's 1 hour, is it not worth it? If it will eventually, and I'm talking about weeks or maybe just months, it will improve your entire life, right? So I really hope that you take this seriously. Thank you for watching this video, and I will see you in the next one.